Buddy podcast. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. As always, I am your host, Buddy from Bears Buddy Kanan. Great to see you doing a live stream on YouTube and TikTok after the game. Today was a phenomenal game. I had Tyson Bagent going over 205 yards. I didn't put any money on that, but I did end up putting this wager up. It was $25 to win 500. Now, this isn't just a gambling podcast, but this is what happened today. People were not expecting Tyson Bagent to go off. Vegas said that he wouldn't get 100 yards after the first quarter. But without further ado, let's get more into the game today. I think that this was a great game. I think that a lot of people didn't expect it to go like this, but everything that we've heard from Ben Johnson and everything that Tyson Bagent and a lot of these other players we're talking about, we've heard them. If you've been paying attention, if you've been watching the podcast, my TikToks, my Instagram, you know that this offense was ready to do this. Like, this is what we were waiting for. Everybody knew, if you were paying attention, that this would happen. We got Tyson Bagent going 169 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Case Keenum, 151 yards, 2 touchdowns. Miller Moss even got in there at the end. That was phenomenal. Roschon Johnson, though, led the pack for us. He had 8 carries and 34 yards. Honestly, I was completely surprised when I saw Roschon Johnson line up first. I was kind of expecting Britton Brown. Now, I have not heard anything about Roschon Johnson going into this game, so I was a little puzzled who would be the running back 3. I mean, he had that 19-yard breakaway. That looked great. But the guy that I have been hearing a lot about is Salvon Ahmed, and he crushed it. So he only had 2 carries for 17 yards. But where he really blew it up was 3 receptions for 55 yards and 1 touchdown. He had a 49-yard long coming off of Case Keenum. Now, if you've been paying attention to the podcast, something that I've been saying a lot is that I think that Caleb Williams will become a lot better of a passer here this year. And I don't expect it to go up to 65%. I don't expect it to go up to 70%. Realistically, we only need him to be around the 62 to 64%. But I think the big way that that's going to happen is with screen passes. And we saw a lot of that today. I have not talked about Beanie yet. I will get to that. Right now, I'm talking about the offense and how it is fully powered, man. And we had none of our stars out there today. So going through it again, Roschon Johnson was the big surprise of the day for me. I didn't expect him to get as many carries as he did. 8 carries, 34 yards. Salvon Ahmed is the guy that's been blowing up camp. So I did expect him to go off today. 2 carries for 17 yards. The big touchdown. That's also when Caden Barnett, the Vanilla Gorilla, the guy who got body slammed by Jordan Vandenberg, went off, man. He got his first block about 5 yards downfield on this screen, and then he went looking for another block. You could see Kieran Amagaji right next to him, who didn't do the same thing, and it makes you question, Caden Barnett is a first year, and Amagaji is going into his 3rd year. So it does make me question some things about Kieran Amagaji. And no slam on Amagaji because everybody is always piling on the dude. So I think that, we'll see what happens. I'm waiting to see when the All-22 come out. I will do a full breakdown of that because I'm very interested in our line. But yeah, guys that were on the line today, we had left tackle Kieran Amagaji, Jedrick Wills. Tyson Bagent looked like he was vulnerable. That one time it looked like he was about to get his neck ripped off. But that was because that line was like a little weaker. We had Logan Jones at center. I thought that he did a pretty good job. I don't think that I saw anything insane from him, but that's kind of with a center. Unless you have a dominant nose tackle or somebody like a Dexter Lawrence or a Vita Vea bull rushing you, you're not going to have anything insane. So Logan Jones did a great job, in my opinion. I think Caden Barnett did a good job, the undrafted rookie. I think Theo Benedict on the right side, he looked good. I will show you guys in the All-22, but he looked very good on the right side. And then yeah, so the left tackle situation is still up in the air. Let's go through this receiver room real quick. We're talking about Caden Davis, man. Caden Davis. So we've been talking about him all last 2 weeks. He's really come on strong. He's really come on strong. 4 receptions, 88 yards, 41 yarder, and he had 6 targets. So he had more targets than anybody else on the team. And if you're kind of wondering, who is Caden Davis? Well, he's a 27-year-old that's out of Northwest Missouri State. He most recently played in the UFL. The guy, though, has some speed to him. He played in 2024 with the Browns and 2025 with the Browns. If you go on his Instagram, you'll see he's been on like every single practice squad. He was on the Detroit Lions. He was with the Cardinals. So he's been around the league a little bit. Maurice Alexander was a name that I thought was going to be a little bit more active here. It might not have just been his day because he did have 3 catches for 42 yards on 6 targets. This is exactly what we want to see in the preseason. Now, obviously, this is not a real game, right? But it is a game that you could see the mechanics. You could see the way that the guys are lining up. You could see the work that they're putting into the preseason. And so it just alludes to what we will get from the starting roster. Scotty Miller went off a little bit there. He had 3 receptions on 37 yards. JP Richardson had 2 receptions for 34 yards. Sam Roush, that's my guy. 2 receptions, 15 yards. He had 3 targets, though, so that was pretty cool. And then, yeah, it was just a solid day for this offense. It was something that I'm very excited about. And just kind of going to it is it just shows you the depth that we have. So I am not afraid. This is NFL, not for long. It's a next up league, right? From this game, we saw that we have a lot of guys ready to be next man up, and I am just so excited for everything that's happening right now. Now, we did have we had a fumble recovery, Jamri Chroma. So this guy is the definition of next man up. He's a defensive tackle. This is his 3rd year in the league. He's been on the practice squad the last 2 years. He's out of James Madison. And the guy gets 6 total tackles today, 5 of them solo, 2 of them sacks, 3 of them tackles for loss, and 2 of them QB hits. Obviously, that comes from the sack. But this guy was creating for himself. He forced a fumble, recovers the fumble. The dude was phenomenal today. Another guy that stood out from the defense was a guy that I was not expecting. It was Ruben Hippolyte. 7 total tackles, 4 solo, 1 tackle for a loss, 1 pass deflection. This was the guy from Maryland last year that we expected to, or at least I expected him to really do some good work. But when he came back, he wasn't the guy that we thought he was going to be, or at least I'll say myself. I didn't think that he was the guy that he was going to be. So Jack Sanborn looked a little faster than I remember. He came back in, and he was looking pretty good. Malik Muhammad, the rookie out of Texas, that guy is looking phenomenal. He's slender, but boy, does he hit. He hits really hard. He is a competitor. From what Al Harris says at training camp, the guy could use a little bit of a blow to his confidence because he's got a lot of confidence. And that's exactly how he plays. And after seeing him, he could back it up too. So it's completely fine for him to play with that swagger to him. We had Xavier Woods out there who did end up getting injured at the end of the game. At the time that Ben Johnson met with the media, we don't have official word on what happened to him. Dylan Thieneman, you could tell that there's a lot going on with Dylan Thieneman, and he seems to be the guy that's going to be in charge of this defense, like once they give the keys to him. But until then, Devin Bush looked vicious out there, and I know that we only had him for 1 or 2 series at most. He looks like he is ready to hurt somebody. I mean, even in practice, he ran through Luther Burden, right? So, and that might have been a cheap shot. That might have been, call it what you will, right? But I was expecting a little bit more from Jordan Vandenberg, but again, he plays one of those like um, non-glamorous positions. So that is kind of expected. He is just going to be a guy that clogs stuff up. And yeah, so there wasn't too much other than that. I would say that we are very fortunate to have Dio Adengbo out there. Now, say what you will about him, the motivated Dio. Um, he is a guy that's coming in and he's going to really, I think, come on throughout the season. And I don't think that this year there's that much pressure on him because, he got his money. If he gets cut, he gets cut. I feel like that's the attitude about it, but I do think that he is working his ass off. This bet above me, this is after the first quarter. Vegas just completely abandoned the Bears. Vegas completely abandoned the Bears. They said they're going to lose this game by 4.5 points. And Tyson Bagent isn't going to throw 50 yards. So this bet that I took right here, this was for Tyson Bagent to throw 100 yards. I listened to Ben Johnson's press conference before the game, like a couple days ago. He said that Tyson Bagent was going to play pretty much the entire first half. He kind of had been alluding to that. So that's what this is above me. I don't really like to show that too often, but I had to show it because the absolute disrespect that's going on from Vegas. And we absolutely crushed it today. This team looked phenomenal. Beanie Bishop with 2 interceptions. This was huge because he's a guy that we really didn't expect to do too much. Now, Beanie Bishop, don't get too attached to him because he is going to be out for 3 games to start the season. Beanie Bishop is a stud, though. With Xavier Woods, with Beanie Bishop, we got 2 guys that could really hit. Now, Beanie Bishop hasn't been in the league for a long time. He came in 2024. He played with Pittsburgh. This would technically be his second year as he was with the Pittsburgh Steelers, but he wasn't able to do too much, and then he got dropped from them. He went with another team and was on the practice squad, but now he's here with the Bears. We are very excited that he's here, or at least I'll just speak for myself. I'm very excited that he's here. Right now, he is on the reserve / suspended, so he will not be with us for week 1 against the Panthers. He will come back in week 4. He's somebody that I'm very excited about, and today he just showed out. So he can play in the first few in these first few preseason games, but then after that, it's like, okay, cool, we got to ship him away. He's gone for the first 3 games. Some reports say that they don't know exactly what it is, and then other reports say that it was a substance issue. So I'll let you make of that what you will. I'd say the biggest surprise to me here was Case Keenum, and I will say this: I owe Case Keenum an apology because when the Bears paid Case Keenum this year, that pissed me off because I felt like we had enough coaches on the roster like that could coach well. And I just didn't think that like called upon, Caleb Williams goes down. We got Tyson Bagent right there. But Case Keenum, I know that he was playing 3rd and 4th strings, but damn, he was 9 for 10, 151 yards, 15 yards per catch, 2 touchdowns, a perfect passer rating, 158.3. Man, I am sorry, Case. I owe you an apology, man. 38 years old. Case and I are the same age. He's got 14 years in the league. He doesn't look like he could run a 6-second 40. And he absolutely balled out today. So Case Keenum looked smoother than Tyson Bagent. He looked like that old vet. He looked like Adam Sandler from The Longest Yard, man. He looked like he was ready to ball today. It looks like he was taking this personal. But yeah, I mean, in my comments right now, Kadan just said it. I was like, Tyson Bagent, man. Tyson Bagent. I don't want to be like Colin Cowherd. We're good. Tyson, we're good. But I mean, after the way that Case Keenum played today, I do have questions. I do have questions what that means. Tyson Bagent didn't play good enough to raise his stock. I think he just kind of left it where it was at. I do think that the Browns did play real defense in the beginning of the game. I mean, they have one of the guys that we wanted, or that I wanted, Emmanuel McNeil-Warren. They've got a good defense over there. Like that defense is solid. They had Mason Graham playing in the beginning. Obviously, you know, they're not, you know, they don't have Devin Bush anymore. You know, they've got Carson Schwessinger, you know, so it was a good defense when Tyson was playing. And I will say that we were getting our feet under us as far as our offensive line goes. And here's what I'll say too. I've been getting a lot of questions about why do we need preseason? What do preseason games matter? They don't matter at all. So I've been getting a lot of those comments. And so I do want to address those. We saw today exactly what the offseason and preseason means. What it means is it's a chance for these guys to get this callus, right? And so what that is just like, as soon as you snap the ball in a real game, there's a lot of different variables that happen other than when you're in practice. Because when you're in practice, the offense starts to read and pick up on the defense. They know exactly what they're doing. They know their cadence. They know every little thing about the guy that lines up against them because they're doing it for 4 days to 6 days a week, right? And so they learn that. But when you have another guy on the other side of you and the only thing you have is tape, Marshawn Lynch talks about it all the time. When you get hit in the face, you can't see that on tape. When you get hit like that, when you get pushed back, when you got a defensive tackle that's 330 that runs a 4.8 pushing you back, you can't watch tape on that. There's something different about the NFL when it's live, and you cannot prepare for that. So that's what it's for. And obviously there's a lot of other things too, especially when you got such a complicated coach like Dennis Allen and Ben Johnson. It's good to just fail. It's good to just fail in front of 30,000 to 60,000 people. It's good to do that. It's good to fail on national TV and then see it on SportsCenter, because that's either going to make you crumble or that's going to make you grow. So that is, to me, what preseason is. There is no replacement for getting run through, like when you get run through with Marshawn Lynch, or when you get knocked out like the way that Ray Lewis used to do it. You know, it's your welcome to the league moment. You know, that's what it is. And then you learn, you get savvy. You see a guy like Case Keenum, he looked savvy. He looked gray. He looked wise. That's the only other way that I could put it, man. 10 years ago, that is not how Case Keenum looked. And I feel like that's the last time I've seen Case Keenum play was 10 years ago when he was a young buck. So I'll go ahead and I'll kind of start to go through these comments real quick, make sure that I've got them coming up here. No Jade today. Jade was out there for the first drive, I believe. I don't know if I saw him for anything after that. I was excited, but what that means, the Jade thing, is that he's good. Like, there were talks for like 1 week. I feel like it was like 3 days. Is Jade even going to make this roster? And no, yeah, I mean, we got it. Anything on Dylan? I think that Dylan was overwhelmed today. I think that was like his kind of welcome to the league moment, was that he just looked a little slow. And the dude is a beast. He did have that one tackle where it was a risky tackle. I'm going to be honest with you. He tackled Quinshon Judkins at the sideline. And if you go back and you watch the film, he cut it at an angle that if he missed, he would have got humiliated. But I think that he really like trusts in his speed. And so I think that we're going to see some big plays that we didn't see last year. Like last year when the Green Bay Packers scored that touchdown, and there's like, there's all 11 guys trying to tackle him, Josh Jacobs, and he runs for a touchdown. You know, that's the one that blew up game one, in my opinion. So how did the Bears look overall? If I could give them a rating, Obviously, I would say, I mean, that defense looked good, guys. Like the defensive tackles is what I was really looking at. I was ready to really, dig into defensive ends here. But, and again, I know that it's preseason, but there were guys that stepped up today. This Jamry Chroma guy, we're going to be hearing about him a lot more. Yeah, I would give them an 8 or a B, right? Like that's exactly where I would do. I would put them at an 8 or a B. I think that they did a great job today. I think that, they were solid, man. They really brought it today. I think that Josh Blackwell out there, he's a special teams guy. It's only like he's hurting his stock, but he is a baller. You could tell this guy like loves playing ball. Let's see here. Bills Mafia is in the chat right now. I was pissed off about that DJ Moore thing. I'm going to be honest with you. If you guys see this clip, DJ Moore, it's like he forgot about the Chicago Bears already, man. He's already gone. We'll do great this year. Hey, from Winnipeg. Great to see you on the chat. AJV. I know. I mean, I'm just kind of kidding about it, but it was like we're nothing to DJ Moore. Yeah, I thought Neville and other defensive tackles were all better than Dio. Now, I didn't see Neville Gallimore out there, and that might be on me. But the guy that I did see that was doing a lot, and again, it was a defensive tackle that you're not going to see him in the stat column, but James Lynch was everywhere today, and he's a new guy, so that's a name to watch for. Is James Lynch? He's going to be phenomenal. Jaden Loving is a big dude. He had one pass deflection. He's a defensive tackle. He's going to be over there. He's Jordan Vandenberg's guy. Cam Lewis looked okay today. Xavier Woods, he's out right now. We'll see to the extent of that. Obviously, we're not like taking anything, but he's a guy that didn't finish the game. Santos did make me nervous today. I'll be completely honest with you. Santos made me a little nervous today. Wish that we had somebody automatic from 65. It was funny, man, because when I was at the game today, humble brag right there. I was at the game today. And it was funny. I was in the 400, bro. I'm just kidding. But it was really cool because like Ben Johnson always goes for it on fourth, but I don't have the stat in front of me right now, but he didn't really go for it too many times. And I feel like every time that he had a chance, he went for the field goal. And I'm cool with that. It was 2 for 3. His long was 51. 4 extra points. He had a total of 9 points, so did great. But Tory Taylor, year 3, finally turning the page. I think he's going to be good, man. Those balls looked really good. Like I said, I was in the 400 levels. We had the air and water show. We had what they call a low ceiling. So I'm watching these Tory Taylor balls and planes go overhead. It was a cool sight. I'm not going to lie. Yeah. So we didn't get to see a lot of the starters. We didn't get to see Montez. We didn't get to see Grady Jarrett, obviously. We didn't get to see a bunch of other guys. But, it was fun, man. It was a really good day. I think that there was a couple things, like when Tyson Bagent gets pulled over by the neck. It didn't look like it was going to be crazy. Claus, great to see you, brother. Getting the work in. Points were scored. I was happy. We'll see what happens with Xavier Woods as far as contract goes. I'm not familiar with the contract right now. I don't know exactly what that's going to look like, or Beanie Bishop. I feel like those are kind of like league minimum type deals. We'll look into that. But yeah, that's a great one, because if Xavier Woods could be the guy that we need, I feel like he could really pop off. So he did sign the contract. It is a 1-year league or veteran minimum. Sorry, veteran minimum. He gets $1.3 million. It's a 1 year, similar to the Jedrick Wills deal. We'll see what, Jedrick Wills does. I'm excited for this all 22 to come out. I'm very excited to see what the PFF rankings come out. Not that that means anything. PFF rankings mean absolutely nothing. But I do believe that we're going to see some cool scores that are going to make me want to rewatch some stuff. I'm not shocked at all about Caden Davis. We've been talking about him. Claus and myself have been talking about him a little bit. What is this? Don't know what that means. Yeah. Who all was at the game today? Go ahead and let me know in the comments there. But again, great day overall. I think that we kind of like touched all the points. I think that Case Keenum looked phenomenal. The leader for tackles today was Ruben Hippolyte. And that was phenomenal, man. That was phenomenal because, last year he just looked soft. And again, maybe that was for injury. This year, last year he was a 4th round pick, 132 overall, 132 out of Maryland. And he was like a captain at Maryland too, man. But he kind of fell off. But yeah, if you were watching at home or potentially in the Midwest, you saw George McCaskey on. And it was kind of funny because I've already rewatched the game. I'm just sick like that. I already rewatched the game. My daughter and I were watching it together. And George McCaskey comes on and I'm like, what is he doing? And he didn't apologize for the Rams comment. And it's just like, at this point, I'm like, I'm done. I'm done with the family. It's Ben Johnson time. So you guys could say what you want. You guys could put out as many open letters as you want. I'm done listening to you guys. I'm good. I'm good with it. But yeah, let's see here. We should keep 3 quarterbacks since NFL did that rule. Yeah, I think that you should always keep 3 quarterbacks. Yeah, I wish I could have talked to George. Claus has talked to George. And yeah, I think that, in my opinion, I would love it if they sold it. Let me know if you guys got any more questions in the comments. I'm going to be winding down now. As always, guys, thank you guys so much for joining the lives. Thank you for liking my stuff on IG, TikTok. I'm just a diehard fan. Thank you guys so much for everything. As always, I am Bears Buddy. Thanks again for following me on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. I've been doing longer form